Welcome to Forward Facing. I'm Andee Hastings.
I'm Mali Shadmary,
We are the founding partners of Hastings Shadmary Family Law.
an Atlanta-based law firm with a deep commitment to our clients, our community, and our team, whom we call the Wolf Pack.
We are lawyers,
We are also business owners,
partners,
bosses.
and best friends. Every day we work towards self-growth and mutual development.
Our 4 decades of combined experience gives us a distinct perspective on work, business, and how to navigate some of life's toughest situations.
We want to pass on what we have learned, introduce you to like-minded guests, and share our philosophies on staying positive and moving forward. Forward Facing is your inspiration to evolve.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Forward Facing. I'm Mali Shadmary, and I'm joined by my co-host, Andee Hastings. Good morning. And we are also joined by a beautiful new guest, Lily Lutton.
Morning.
We are going to be having an interview with Lily today. We are so excited for you guys to get to know her. She's one of our Hastings Shadmary lawyers, and let me tell you, she is fierce. So before we get into that, quick check-in, me and Andee. How are you doing this week, Andee? What's going on in your world?
Doing great, actually. Just, keeping the balls in the air, the usual. But it's great. Just really grateful. I started off this day being really grateful for the people that we have around us in this team and felt the need to shout it out to everybody. So starting with gratitude, How about you?
Good. Same with me. This is a very workmanlike week. Just check the boxes, girl. Get the things done. Keep the forward momentum going. Just kind of the regular goings on of our firm and keeping my habits in check and keep holding myself accountable kind of vibe. So with that, we're going to dive in. We're going to let y'all get to know Lily. She has an amazing, beautiful story. She is a very talented family law attorney. She is the type of lawyer that when she walks into the room, you know who's in control. She is going to be vocal, she is feisty, and she has a heart that's full of passion to protect her clients. She's a mom, she's a wife, she does it all. So yeah, Andee, kick us off on this interview. Let's get Lily going here.
So, Lily, one of the things we want to do with this is we want to have everybody have the opportunity to learn who you are as a human, as a person, as a woman, as a lawyer. So start us off at the beginning. Where are you from?
So I'm from Henry County, McDonough, Georgia. I went to Union Grove High School. And then I decided I have an older sister. She's a year older than me, and she was at Georgia College in Milledgeville.
Oh, my sister went there too.
So
I've been partying there my ass off.
I love Milledgeville. If I was going to live anywhere else, it would be there if I wasn't more of like a city girl. But I went to Milledgeville for 4 years, and then I just kept going further south. I went to law school at Mercer in Macon, and then I was like, all right, I've got to get back up, to Atlanta. So then I moved to Buckhead right out of law school and lived there for a couple years. Realized it was time to grow up, and then I went more towards Peachtree Corners area. So that's where I'm at now.
What did you major in undergrad?
Undergrad, I was criminal justice. I thought that I was going to be the criminal law attorney of the next generation.
Yep.
And then I went to law school and realized that I hated criminal law. So I never even interned in criminal law. I was just like, no.
I feel that, tell me if this is accurate, that you are somebody that what you see is what you get. And when you believe in something, you're on a crusade until it is accomplished. And if your heart's not in it, you're probably not all in, like not going to
100%. And that's the thing. You always know what I'm thinking too.
Yep.
I mean, there's just...
I love that about me.
I'm a very, very upfront, honest, straight to the point person. You're never going to guess what I'm feeling or my opinion about something because I can't help myself. It's going to come out, and whether it's through my words or my facial expressions. So I can't imagine being in a hearing with a criminal defendant that I don't believe in or value, or everyone would know it. Or say that's just not fair to them. I'm like, no, that's just, I can't do that.
What about when we have clients that haven't been on the best behavior? It's not the same as a criminal case, and we have a different burden of proof, standard of proof in our cases. I'm very curious about when you know somebody has not done right. What do you do?
I handle that a couple of different ways. So number one, I mean, this is totally different in family law, right? We're not dealing with really heinous crimes. For the most part, we're dealing with people that maybe made a bad mistake, but are still a good person and really want to be a good parent, right? And if I see that, I'm going to fight for them because everybody does deserve a second chance. I do have that belief that like not everybody should be defined by their mistake because we've all made mistakes. However, it is my job as their attorney to really see, okay, what is this mistake and how is it going to come across to a judge or people of your peers in a courtroom? How is it going to look? And if it's going to be really negative and I think that it could end up really bad for my client, I'm going to be honest about that. I'm going to tell them from the get-go, this isn't going to look good and here's why. Or I know this judge and here's their opinion on these matters. This is what we need to do. And if that means we need to reach a settlement agreement that maybe I believe they wouldn't be able to get in front of the judge because it was so bad, then, that's maybe the path we take. Or the other scenario is maybe it's not somebody that I think just did one mistake and is going to come back from that. Maybe it's somebody that doesn't really necessarily deserve primary custody of these kids or something along those lines, but they need somebody else that's going to explain why to them. And in that avenue, I'm going to say, let's get a guardian. Let's get a guardian to come in, look at the case. And if there's something that I'm not seeing, maybe the guardian will help me. But no matter what, I'm still going to have my clients back through all of that. But ultimately, if the guardian does decide that my client should not be primary and they have valid, concrete reasons for that, and I agree with it, then again, I'm going to be the attorney for my client to give them the harsh reality that maybe they don't want to hear. Like, listen, you can take this to a final and I'll represent you, but here's all the blocks that are up against you. So why spend that money, right? I'm going to be honest with my clients. I really can't stand when attorneys don't have any ability to have client control or be honest with their client in a way, because ultimately all that's going to do is harm everyone else because that same person is going to spend thousands in attorney's fees going to a final hearing simply to end up where you told them they were going to end up from the get-go.
Because sometimes that's the reality, especially if we're dealing with addiction, criminal histories, things like that. You're not going to get your perfect scenario when we settle your divorce or whatever it is, but the law provides for future modifications if you continue to follow the law, follow what we've set up, and improve. Everybody makes mistakes. We will have your back, but you got to be coachable and you got to follow the rules.
But I have had scenarios of exactly what you're saying where, a party comes to me at their absolute worst and the other party is who filed to the divorce because of their actions being, substance abuse and things like that. But because they listened to my advice, she did what she needed to do. She owned up to the mistake.
Yeah.
She bettered herself and she really put her heart into it.
Yep.
And so she walked out of it with best case scenario.
Yeah.
And so it is possible. It's just a matter of how much is that client willing to take and listen to your advice and take those steps necessary.
So, okay, back into Lily world.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Baby Lily, you're in high school, you're in college. What was family life like? What were you interested in? Who was Lily back then?
Yeah, my mom had me at 21, so
cool.
she was having a baby, right? And so, I definitely didn't grow up with money or anything like that. But she ultimately married my stepdad, who became a very consistent person in my life. But he passed away from a massive heart attack when I was in college. So that has definitely been hard on her. But yeah, even as a kid, I was working by 14. I had a job, but then legally by 15, you can't work until you're 15.
Yeah.
At least when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But I had a family member that, let me work when I was 14, and then I started working at 15, and I really took care of myself financially from a young age. I actually moved out when I was 17, so I did not live at home my senior year of high school.
Where'd you go?
I lived with my stepbrother. He was like 30 minutes out from my high school.
Okay.
So I lived with him until I eventually went to college.
Were you a studious type? Were you in sports? How were your activities?
Yeah. I loved sports, and I did sports for a little while, but my mom really couldn't afford it.
Okay.
I did the All-Stars for cheer and things like that. But yeah, no, I mean, eventually the check bounced
Yeah.
and I was pulled out of in the middle of practice. They pulled me out. So that, that didn't last very long for me.
Yeah.
I worked. I worked at a I worked at a doctor's office. I was at the sign-in lady when you went to love doctor's office.
I did that at an eye doctor's office and I loved it.
I only got the job through my stepdad. His brother owned the place.
That's amazing.
But yeah, no, I always made good grades. I never made bad grades.
What about siblings? Where do you fall in the mix?
So my mom had my little sister, London, 8 years after she had me. So we are 8 years apart. And my dad, prior to having me with my mom, he had my older sister, Ryan. So my sister, Ryan, is a year older than me, and my younger sister, London, is 8 years younger than me. I'm very, very close with both of them. I am the sibling to each one of them, but they are not siblings to each other.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I am with one of them, if not both of them, every single weekend. I talk to both of them every single day. They are literally just, I mean, I thank God for them every single day. That's why when people are like, oh, it's like your half sister, it's like, no. Yeah, my sisters.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter to me. And only without him, I don't know what I would do.
Love it.
And you're married. You have a family.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I married in 2022. Yep. And then we had Levin in 2023.
Tell us about Levin.
Yeah, he's so sweet and cuddly and just, he's my world.
Hey, you said to me the other day, you're like a restaurant girly. Y'all are going out to eat, and Levin's just on for the ride.
We are not the type of parents that let having a child completely change our lives.
I love that.
Instead, we kind of integrated him into our lives. Obviously, things change, right? I mean, we're definitely not going to like bars and clubs by any means, but we've kind of gotten out of that already.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I was the type with a newborn in a restaurant, and I'm not. I just wasn't gonna let it slow me down, and I think if anything, he's better for it. I mean, he loves people. He loves going out. We're constantly on the go. We're constantly doing things, and it works for us. We don't have to we don't have this rigid schedule of like, he's got to be down for a nap by a specific time. Like, he's going to nap when he's tired, and he does every single time. He naps every single weekend when he's tired, and it's not a fight. I'm not stressed about it.
Was it always your intent to work as an attorney and be a mom, or like did that just manifest and you saw how it felt? Like, how did you determine how you were going to balance the career and motherhood?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been, what I have to do. I mean, you got to make money. I mean, I'm definitely not, I came from no money, so I'm definitely not the type of person that's not going to make money. But I would be lying if I said that wasn't one of the hardest parts of motherhood for me, because it's better now. I don't even really think about it because he loves school. But God, when he was 3 months old and I had to drop him at daycare, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. I mean, I just sat in the office bawling, crying. It was awful. So yeah, I definitely think if we could have longer than 12 weeks, that would be great. But at the same time, I look at it now and I'm like, he loves school. He has the same little girlfriend, Margot, that he's had since his infant class. And he loves going and seeing Margot every day. He loves his teachers. I mean, he doesn't even cry anymore. He just runs on in. Like, he loves it. And it has taught him so much being in school every single day. And I know people are like anti-daycare, and I'm just not, because he comes home. I mean, one day he came home and he's like, A, B, C, D. I'm like, I teach you that, like, he's learning all of these things in daycare. But not just that, he's going to look at me one day, hopefully, and see how strong I am and see that I am just going after my dreams and my goals and I'm making them happen. And I hope that he can look up to me because of that one day. And I know that being a stay-at-home mom would also be great. And I have a lot of mom guilt, not being able to do that because we simply can't afford that. But also, I don't know that I would be mentally able to do that. But I do think there's something to say that one day he's going to say, you know what, my mom killed it. My mom's a businesswoman. She's successful. And, look at what she's built for herself. So at the end of the day, I will be, a representation of what I hope he can become one day.
Love that. Speaking of family, what has been your path on family law?
So I dabbled in a little bit of personal injury, and there's just no sort of client relationship in those types of things. It was not it for me. And I am such a people person.
Yeah.
Like, to me, yes, is it important to like make a good income and all? Yes. But I also want to do something where I feel fulfilled and I'm making a difference. And I genuinely have clients that remind me on the regular, oh, Wes, this is why I do this. This is why I do this. I feel like I'm actually making a difference for people and it really does matter. And so that to me was a big pull towards family law, but also the client communication that you get to have in family law that you don't have in a lot of other types of law. So true. You're building these relationships, but you're also acting as a different type of counselor to that sometimes. Like sometimes I have my client just absolutely unload on me and
Yeah.
they'll be like, I'm so sorry, like you're not my therapist. I'm like, no, 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 but I I'm happy to have this conversation with you, right? That's part of it. I've been doing this for 7 years. So at the end of the day, I do have an understanding of some of these issues and how they go on. And I'm happy to listen and provide, any sort of insight I can. So that part of the job I really enjoy and I really like. And you can't get that in other types of law. You
Totally
just
true.
can't.
Absolutely.
And I was the kid in the judge's chambers with my parents fighting for me.
Were you Zoe?
Yeah. So you had to go to chambers. Oh, yeah. Hmm.
So tell our audience what that really means. When you have to go to chambers as a kid, what is that?
I don't remember feeling like it was scary. It was definitely a setup of just kind of going into the judge's office and sitting on the couch and the judge kind of asking you specific questions. I remember it. I don't remember a ton about it,
Yeah.
but I do remember it. And so I also think going through that, and I definitely, remember the back and forth. I remember my dad grabbing me and crying and kind of telling me like he's losing custody and I'm going to live with mom again. And I do also remember the things that my dad would say to me about my mom that my mom didn't say to me about my dad. I remember those dynamics. I remember all of it and kind of how it played out in my adulthood and my relationship with each parent and the effects that it had. And so I do have that knowledge that I am able to give to my clients of like, listen, I know that it's so upsetting to you right now to feel like your co parent is just disparaging you to the kids and there's nothing you can do about it. I know that you feel so defeated in that aspect of it, but just know eventually everything will play out the way that it's meant to play out because eventually I grew up. I mean, and when I say grew up, I'm talking 10 or 11. For women, it doesn't take long to kind of start realizing what's going on. And so for me, it was around 10. I started to notice things and see things. And I made the decision not to go to my dad's anymore because it just wasn't a healthy environment. All he did was talk negatively, not just I mean, yell about how awful my mom was. And I had to make that decision for myself early on. There was other things going on, drugs and things like that, but that was one thing that as a kid, you don't wanna hear. You don't wanna hear your parent disparaging the other parent, and of course, as a child, you're just like, "Yeah, dad, I get it. Yeah, yeah." You're nodding and you're agreeing because what else are you gonna do? You're a kid.
Yeah.
But eventually, it starts to wear on you, and, you know, it affected my relationship with him for sure. He walked you down the aisle. I walked myself down. And I have strong relationships with many people in my life, including my mom and my grandma. I ultimately was raised by my mom and my grandma. Um, but and my stepdad, they got married when I was 12, but I made the decision to walk myself down the aisle because as much as they did for me, I do still think I'm a very independent person and at an early age I took on that independence. And so for me, it was like, well, no one got me here, right? No one was paying for my schooling. No one was, providing any sort of ease in that area. And for me, it was symbolism of like, I got here because of me and my determination, and I'm walking myself down the aisle. I don't need anyone to like give me a lay per se. I'm making this decision for myself.
And now it feels like you're in this area of law and you're able to use as fuel and guidance information that you've gathered over all of your experiences so you can help your clients through that. You have such a different lens. Not I don't have that background. I know that kind of stuff from judges teaching me over the years, but you came to the table. So is that part of what brought you into family law to begin with?
So my sister Ryan, her mom Lori, she was also a big part of my life. Um, it's my dad actually cheated on her. He was married to my sister's mom when he met my mom was very young, probably 10 years younger, and did not even know. And that's a whole other story. But she is someone who could have very much, oh yeah, pushed me to the wayside. And like this girl is a product of my husband's affair. Yeah. And she didn't do that. She was like, this is my daughter's sister, which means she's my daughter. And so she also played a big role and a big part in my life. And actually, throughout law school, I kind of started realizing criminal law wasn't for me, personal injury wasn't for me, and I got to this place of like, what do I do? And she was like, your family law. I'm telling you, your family law. You need to go into family law. It is like I can just see you in it. I can see you representing moms and dads and parents who genuinely need your help and need guidance through these things. Like I just see it. And she said it to me probably for a year until I took her seriously. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take family law. And I took the class and I loved it. And then I took an internship and I loved it. And I never went back.
I love that. I love that she was it. Ryan's mom was a big part of that. Like, what a cool woman.
Yeah.
That
No, and she
that's
still is.
amazing.
She still calls me her kid. And I
Love that.
celebrate holidays with her still. And she's a huge part of my life. And I'm so thankful for her because she had every reason, yep, to not want to have any sort of a relationship with me. Yeah, and she didn't choose that path. So,
Crazy.
so path, how did you end up here? So, I just got to a place in my career where I feel like I've been doing I want more freedom, number 1, but I want to be part of something. I don't want to just be an attorney in something great. I want to be part of making something great, right? And so y- I actually was approached by your firm and I met with you guys and there is something to say, working with other women is fabulous. And so that was kind of a perk for me is being able to work with other women that I can really look up to. But also you guys are very much like we want you here because, we want to grow too, right? And that's just so very different from where I was because where I was we're already established. Happy that you're here, right? But we've got it. Just, yep, go deal with your cases and, let us know if you need help and that's fine. But you guys are very much like, we're so happy to have you. We're happy to grow with you. We want your input. We want, so I feel like being here, I can be part of growing something great rather than just getting into something that's already established, if that makes sense.
100%. And, it's interesting too, because we talking about evolving and growth for us, and I'm curious your take on this, but growth can look like a lot of things. It's not just number of people, size of your office, and all that. It's learning every day and understanding that we know a lot about how we do things, and we've had incredible mentors from whom we've learned. But whenever you have a group of people highly motivated, intelligent. Everybody brings different things to the table, and you have to be open to absorbing that, sharing those ideas. It's not that every time an idea comes up, we're going to be like, oh, pivot, and go do something else. But it is very important to us and part of our culture be, to embrace different ideas and new ideas. And that's one of the reasons why I think that we just felt instinctively that you were like-minded, and yeah, you've done nothing but prove us right.
Definitely. And so Lily came and joined us and brought her paralegal, and they've just been a powerhouse team. That's something that I have to brag on Lily about too, is her relationship with her people. And she's been with Dee, her paralegal, who is brilliant and such a beautiful energy to be around. She is a workhorse and she's gonna get in and get that job done. But Lily and Dee came together and it was very clear that she has so much respect for you and vice versa. So we knew from the beginning that you were already a leader. And sort of the namesake of our podcast, forward facing, you were part of the vision that you've become part of the vision that Andee and I have had for quite some time. And you joined the firm at a time where we have a cast of very talented characters, and there was a spot for you guys. And all that does is just bring us to another level. That's what I said at the beginning about the Power Rangers. It's like you bring on new people with different superpowers, and you need to embrace that. And Andee and I don't like being capped with any kind of a ceiling. I feel that you're the same way.
Right.
And we have a lot of room for growth at this firm with a vision of where we want to be, and that's to help people and to make society a better place by doing responsible lawyering, having responsible structure in our office and a healthy culture where people can be happy.
It's also about knowing the people that you work with and feeling good. I mean, y'all just have such good souls.
Yeah.
And I knew that and I aired you
Yeah.
and I couldn't let it go. And trust me, I grappled with it and I took a while to make the decision to make this move and I just couldn't get it out that you guys were just my people. This is where I'm meant to be. And so I'm so glad I made the decision. I am not looking back.
We are too. We're thankful. We're going to do great things. I want to ask you this. If you could give our audience one piece of advice, it could be family law, it could be life, whatever you're called to tell us, what would that advice be?
Okay, wow.
I know. I got you, girl. I got Lily Lutton. That's rare,
I
okay?
think it would be other people's opinions are none of your business because I have spent years worried about how I come across, what other people think of me.
Yeah.
You just stop giving a shit.
Yeah.
You got to stop caring about what other people think. I stopped caring. I started posting on social media. I started posting my TikToks. I started slow, thinking, "Oh my god, is that cringy?" Over editing, over retaking the video tons and tons of time, worried so much about how I was going to come across to somebody else. But I'll tell you, it's never the successful people that are ridiculing you or your videos or your work. It's never the successful people.
Right.
It's always the people that may be jealous or are deflective or insecure themselves. So I just got to a place where I have stopped caring so much about what other people think and how I come across. The only opinions I really need to worry about are, my close friends and family and you guys and obviously of course making a good impression on my clients, but I'm taking a TikTok video and posting it. I'm not even thinking about it. And those are the ones that always like end up reaching the most people and helping the most people. And they're like, thank you so much for this advice.
They're authentic. That's what the world needs, authenticity.
And since I have started to not care so much, I have made the move here. I have skyrocketed on social media. I am getting more clients and more people are coming to me and asking questions and needing my help. And this is just like where I want to be. And I do think it's all partly because I have stopped caring so much about other people and what they think of me.
Tell our audience where they can find you on your socials because, guys, she has a rockin' TikTok. And she has a following, and beware, there are fake accounts of her out there. Go report them for us. Go report them for us. Because TikTok will not take it down, so that's rude.
Yeah.
But tell us, where can they find you?
Yeah, it's just Lily Lutton, but it's Lily Lutton, Lily Lutton. The other fake accounts are with two L's.
Yes, they
Are.
are. Yeah, she gives family law advice and she's entertaining. And as she's saying, she's authentic. What you see is what you get with Lily. She really is this beautiful in person as she is on TikTok and just as brilliant.
And I do realize that not everybody can afford an attorney. I mean, I hate that. And so it is a platform to also try and give really important legal tips to people that they wouldn't otherwise be able to receive without having to pay for a consult. So it can be very helpful, even if you can't afford an attorney, to just go and get some good tips.
Love that. So we always end with a segment that we're going to go with you last. So Andy and I will go first.
Should be time to thank.
Yeah. Yep. We check in and we just talk about, in the spirit of being forward facing, how we feel that we've evolved in the past week or for you just recently. How do you feel as a person you've evolved? So Andy, since our last check in, how do you feeling on your evolution?
Well, it's funny. It's it's things that that you kind of lose sight of in the moment or in a period of time, and sometimes it's just easy to forget or not keep front of mind um how hard everyone around us is working. And so that's why I was talking. I woke up with this whole gratitude thing because I can look at certain things as problems or I can look at them as gifts. And like, I want to solve all the challenges but I am surrounded Lily, you every single person with these amazing people who are just killing themselves to do a great job to take care of our clients, our potential clients, each other. And sometimes I just need to stop and just have conversations with people, and, hear their voice. And, we just had a conversation the other day, and I know that you were nervous about chatting with me. And I'm like, no, I love this. So it's important. And, it's one of our core values. And it's just easy to get busy and lose sight of that. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of a reminder. So
I love that.
what about you?
Okay, for me, it's pretty specific and maybe a little boring, but I am definitely out that. I am somebody who loves having something to work towards. I'm a bodybuilder and I'm not going to compete till way later this year. And it leaves me feeling a little stifled. I can sort of neglect some of my habits. And bodybuilding, when you're in prep, you have to be on point. And now I'm not. I'm in a building phase, which means my partner calls it lean massing, so that I don't have to say I'm bulking, but I am bulking. I am growing glutes, hopefully specifically. But I've also been snacking a lot. I'll walk down the hallway and grab a donut and eat it just 'cause it's there, and chocolate, and our office is notorious for a lot of good food. And, I'm on a meal plan. I have a coach. I have a lot of people invested in me. I also eat a lot of food on that meal plan. There is no need for me to be impulsive and just so how I've evolved is I have had some specific conversations with my therapist, my coach, and just thinking out loud about, hey, you are working towards something that you can't quite see yet. You'll have your time to be in prep again later. And what I want when I'm the woman that's in prep later this year is I want to be proud of how I conducted myself even in the relaxed times. And I'm just finding a lot of comfort in sticking true to my habits and not veering too far off the plan and still balancing good family meals and going out with friends and really maximizing those meals and not wasting my calories and my bullshit on stupid shit in the office. And it sounds small, but for me as a human, those little things matter. If I feel that I've let myself down and I haven't tried quite hard enough, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. And in fact, that's the wrong mentality. That's not going to bring you results. You need sustainability and you need consistency. And I just wanted to tweak some small habits to develop some more personal integrity with myself. And something as small for me as not eating a donut at the office this week has helped give me so much confidence in myself. So I'm really like proud of that. And again, sounds small, but for Mally, that was a big deal. I don't want to feel like I am a prisoner of my impulsiveness towards a snack or whatever it is, because Andy knows this one. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if I allow those things there, what am I going to do in my marriage one day or in my business with Andy? I'm going to let things slip. No, I'm not. So just being accountable. That's been mine. What about you, Lily?
You kind of took mine a little bit. I thought you because we discussed this earlier.
Really?
Well, I suffer from serious severe FOMO, like fears missing out on literally anything and everything. It could be like we're gonna go to Walmart together and I'm like, I wanna go. Oh, I lie. It's awful. And so I am the type of person that is constantly going. I constantly have to have plans. I mean, we're never at home on Saturdays. It like Friday night hits and we're out, we're meeting friends for dinner. Saturday hits, we're up and out of the house. We're doing something all day long, all day night on Saturday. Like we're constantly going, going, going because I feel like if I have a lazy day on a Saturday, I'm just then wasting my life away. I mean, that is how dramatic I think about it.
Yeah.
But my husband and I have been intentional recently, specifically in the last 2 weeks, to really hone in on understanding that sometimes slow life, slow weekends is really what we need. I also think it's good for our little family. It's good for Levin. It's good for him to just kind of have mommy and daddy to himself for a weekend. So the past 2 weekends, we have done nothing, which is insane for
Wow.
me.
I
So
love
just like on
that.
Saturday, do nothing.
Yeah.
And so we've done that for the past 2 weekends. And on Monday, I'm like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yes, girl.
I'm like heading to work, like, wow, I have tons of energy.
Yes.
What is this what other people live like?
Yes.
So I think there's a lot to be said about sometimes slow days are fine. And it doesn't mean that you're missing out on anything or you're being lazy. It's just sometimes it's necessary and that's good for you. So
Oh my God, I'm at That is so powerful, the power of rest. And no matter where you're talking about it, whether it's bodybuilding for me or a literal lifestyle as a mom, as a business person, you are going to come in so much stronger. And it goes to that sustainability thing. If you're a high intensity person, which we all three are,
Yes.
you will burn out. And I love that you're working that in now. And it is hard. That is hard. So patting you on the back. It is hard to break old habits and fear patterns or whatever they are. So
Just rewiring our brains every day,
yes.
one step at a time.
So thank you, Lily, for joining us. Everybody having me. Go find her. Remember, Lily with one L, Lily. Lily Lutton, TikTok. She's on Instagram, but you got to find the TikTok. And follow us. Like, share the podcast at Hastings Shadmary. No. Well, Hastings Shadmary is our firm, but at Forward Facing is our new socials for this podcast. And we're so excited to see you next time. We'll see you then.
See you next time.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, and share. We would love to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment or email us at podcast@hsfamilylaw.com. And be sure to come find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at our website, forwardfacing.com.
Forward Facing is a production of Hastings Shadmary Family Law and 1066 Productions. It is produced and edited by Ned Hastings.